Yeah, let me introduce y'all to this YouTube family, showing us the way to get out of debt gradually. My man Josh hold it down in the household, Christine dominating debt with a chokehold. And the kids, they are Grace and Zoe, baby Tennessee, new addition to their story. Debt Kickin Sunday, daily vlogging, Dave Ramsey plan gonna have us live large, and every day we'll see part of their lifestyle, how they budget and they keep things wrote down. See them work through the envelope system, no credit cards, only cash going with them. You will see how their family strives to survive with the budget plan, help us understand, and daily vlogs show us how to have fun. When you hear this song, let me hear you say, debt is done. Debt is done, debt is done, debt is done. Let me hear you say it louder.
Welcome to Debt Kickin Sunday.
Woo!
Favorite day of the week.
Spring break edition.
And our babies are back now. And we just had the most awesome week last week, you guys. Lots of happy stuff is going on in our life and our channel. Keep watching for our videos because we're sharing a whole bunch of it with you. So, okay, first question for this Debt Kickin Sunday. We're going to get to it because we have a lot of questions. I have a family member who spends a lot of their money on gambling and they are in major debt. Does one have the right to say something to them, or is it their money, they can spend it how they want? Thanks for any advice. That's a toughie. That's a really... Can I just say, if you guys want to ask us any questions, please leave it down below in the comments to this video, because it's the only way we can corral questions that are flying from all different directions. So, okay, someone asked that, so I tried to remember to answer.
I'm all about tough love. I'd tell them. If it was me, I'd tell them. But some people...
Yeah, there's things that we don't just tell our parents or family members, or we just kind of watch them do stupid and pray for them, because it's all we can do.
That's true.
Think about it in your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah, pray for them and love them and be an example. That's all you can do. Okay, your family is an inspiration, and I'm so grateful to have found your channel. I'm embarrassed to say how much my husband and I have really messed up our finances. A decade of living above and beyond our means has led to nearly $100,000 in debt. We've had to short sell and foreclose on 2 different houses. Late last year, my husband lost his job and we had to sell our last house. Luckily, we made $75,000 on that and have been living with my parents. This is only temporary, however, and we will not be able to stay with them after this summer. We have 2 cars, one is paid off, and want to sell the other one that we still owe on. But we still need advice on how to handle the bulk of that $100,000. I want to do the right thing and pay back what we owe, even if it means a lot of sacrifice. Do we take what we made from the house sale and pay off the biggest debt first, or do we still snowball? Hubby is okay with paying off some of the smaller bills, but wants to save most of the $75,000 towards a new house. A bankruptcy attorney suggested we could stop paying our bills, file bankruptcy, and negotiate down what we owe, and hubby thinks we should take this advice. In the meantime, we've been selling a ton of stuff on eBay and making some extra money. Please pray that we can work through this to find a mutual solution and get out of debt for the sake of our family. Of course, a bankruptcy attorney is going to tell you to file for bankruptcy. Don't listen to a bankruptcy attorney. I'm sorry, I feel for your guys' situation, but this last half of this question just has me fuming. So, okay, so what do you do with this $100,000? Your hubby is okay with, but wants to... Your hubby is... This is the hard part. Your hubby thinks that you should just not pay your bills, file bankruptcy, and negotiate down what we owe. That's what the attorney is telling you. Something's wrong with that, and there's a moral something wrong with that.
If you guys spent $100,000, you need to pay the $100,000.
You owe it.
You owe it.
Yeah, and don't try and wiggle away, because it will get you from the backside.
My advice: if you've got $75,000, you put that $75,000 towards your $100,000 debt. One of you goes and gets a job, or your husband or whoever needs to land a job, and you go rent a cheap apartment and live in that.
Because you're broke.
Because you're broke.
Yeah, you don't go buy another house either. This is tough love, you guys. You don't go buy another house when you've got a whole mess to clean up here.
Yeah, you need to clean up what's behind you before you can move forward.
Right.
Because if you don't, just like Christine said, it's going to come back and it's going to slap you upside the head in the worst way possible.
Right. And so, simply put, if you incurred the debt, you owe to pay it off. I would take your do the baby steps in order. So out of your $100,000, set $1,000 aside. Whatever, you do your baby emergency fund, and then just throw it all.
Like you said, smallest step to the largest
snowball.
step.
And you're familiar with the term snowball, so
yeah.
Yes, that's what I would do with the rest of it. Okay. Hi guys, I came across your channel about 2 months ago and I just love it. Thank you so much for letting us into your lives and being your wonderful selves. Oh, I don't know about that. I decided to comment because I'm just looking for a bit of advice. I'm getting married late summer of this year and I'm wondering just how to manage the funds. I'd also be going back to school full-time either in September or January. So I'm wondering if it would be wiser to save up for the wedding and school and new married life separately, or just save all in one pot and take out as we need. I am also wondering if in marriage it would be better to snowball the debt first, around $10,000, including his school, or cash flow me through school and then start snowballing. I only have 1 more year left and I have no debt so far. We're quite young, in our early 20s, and I'd be moving cities to be with him as well. Any advice you can give us is truly appreciated. Okay, what's the number 1 advice that we're going to give them?
I don't know.
Invest in your future. Someone hasn't already given you a membership to Financial Peace University. Go take that together.
I thought you were going differently on that one. But yeah, take FPU first.
That
Second,
is our marriage prerequisite.
all of your things you wanted, you said school, wedding, and what was the other one? School, wedding, and something else.
Married life.
Whatever. Make an envelope for each one of them.
Yeah.
Don't just put it in one pot and draw from that one pot. Make an envelope for each one
or
of
a
them.
bank account for each one of them.
Separate them. And then when you need to buy something for the wedding, you take it out of the wedding fund. If you need to buy something for, what did I say, school, you buy it out of the school fund.
Yes. And then for you, going back to school, obviously, as little debt as possible. So I would cash flow everything from here on out. Just cash flow, cash flow. That should be the 2 words that you cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. So if an expense comes up, just cash flow it. So you do have his $10,000 in school, but get through these big steps first. Get you going into school, cash flowing it, and then snowball his student loan, because you'll be in such a much better place to be able to do that. And you're balancing a lot of things right now.
Yeah,
so,
a little busy.
Congratulations on all your happy. Okay, love you guys. Gives me encouragement to keep on keeping on. Have a question for you about buying our first home. Hubby and I have moved a few times in the last 5 years and knew we wanted to be closer to family, but we are now living in the same town as family and know this is where we want to put roots, but don't know when we should stop flushing money down the drain to renting. We are currently paying more in renting a home than we would if we owned a home in our calculations, and it drives us crazy. We are working on the debt snowball, and we're going to wait until it was paid off to buy a home, but that will be another 2 years, and I just don't know if renting that much longer is that best thing. With a smaller mortgage than we rent, we could roll the extra into the snowball maybe. We do not have, not really, because houses come with expenses and there won't be any extra.
Yeah.
We do not have down payment saved but can borrow it from family. I know home ownership comes with added costs like repairs. I am just sick of renting and looking for advice. What would you do?
Okay. So.
Okay, looking back in our history, what would we do?
Right.
Hands down.
I know it's temporary, and you may look at it as you're throwing away money. I get that, but you need to do that sometimes.
There's a time and place for renting.
And especially when you said you don't have the down payment and you can borrow it from family, no can do there. You don't want to borrow anything from family because that makes the Christmas dinner taste bitter. Second, if you don't have a down payment, you're not there yet. You need to save for a down payment. You need to have, what is it, 15 or 20% down?
20%
20% down.
They'll be able to afford a 15-year mortgage.
And not more than 25% of your income. Once you have all that,
the payment can't be more than
25% of your income. Once you have all that, go buy yourself a house.
Yeah. So sit down and do those calculations and let us know when it comes up.
But renting it's not an evil thing for a short period of time.
No, it's not. I would do it in a heartbeat. And so many
Looking back on our experiences, we've owned 5 houses in our short little married life. We should have rented instead of buying houses.
Yeah. Kind of envy a little bit those people who get to rent. Life is easier for them in a lot of ways right now. Okay, Danielle here. Hi, Danielle. I love you guys. We love you too. I keep all 5 of you in my prayers each night. This
nice.
is really,
Thank you.
Your comment meant a lot when it came through. My question, I pulled my credit report. Some of my debts have been written off and some will be written off this year, and it lists when. Should I set up payment plans if, say, one of them falls off in June and it is thousands of dollars? Should I only set up payments with the ones that don't get written off this year? Thank you for being an inspiration to all of us out here. Okay,
I don't know what you mean.
I was a little confused, so I did some research. Okay, so written off can also mean forgiven debt. Is that the debts that you're talking about? Is those debts that have a forgiven, they've been on there for so long on your credit report that maybe after a certain amount of time they're forgiven. Okay, so there are two types of debt. There are like mom and pop, lending you money that they can say can be forgiven or written off by saying, don't worry about it paying us back for whatever, half your college or a car or whatever. Okay, and then there's lender commercial debt, which is typical of like credit cards. Anytime you get a loan for something, or consumer, like when you take out a credit card and rack it up, those are almost never forgiven at all. So no matter what, you're going to owe. If there is a balance and you owe money on there, even though, also another thing I realized is that even though it falls off, you still owe. So it's not forgiven. Really, realistically. And like for credit cards or medical bills or for whatever reason, you can settle those debts. And we know people, we've done that. We know a lot of people who have done that before. And if you call up, you have to be ready to have your cash down and to get everything in writing.
Yeah, get them the invoice that are quoted or something.
But yeah, typically they don't ever just let the debt fall off and you're free and clear. So if you need to set up a payment plan with them to get it taken care of, then you're going to have to do that. Thank you so much for your videos.
You're welcome.
Starting baby step 1 on my next payday, and I was wondering if you could clarify something for me. Do I still employ the envelope system while I am going through baby step 1 and 2, or do I wait until these are completed? I feel I would have money for these steps to get through them quicker if I didn't split up my money between envelopes and then use what's left for my steps. If you have cash, you can do envelopes. Food, gas, groceries.
But maybe you don't
have
6,000 envelopes and sinking funds while you're trying to get out of debt. You just do your bare necessities: gas, food, groceries, whatever, just like that. You don't have to have
keep it simple.
All your sinking funds and all. Yeah,
you
can still use envelope systems even though you're
That's right.
kicking debt.
Thank you. Okay, next question. We love you guys. We love you too. Thank you for sharing your lives with us. We are not from Australia, but we love the phrase prawns and beans on the Barbie.
Throw another shrimp on the Barbie!
We are hoping to adopt a child this year, and we've started to think about saving for college. What kind of savings accounts do you recommend? 529 plan seems good, but being restricted to one state makes us a bit cautious, and you should be cautious. The difference, what you want is an ESA, and it is an education savings account. I couldn't remember the exact. 529 is typical to just one state, and what it is that state managing your child's future. And there is a huge amount of unsurety that comes with that, with a 529. So what we recommend, what Dave recommends, is an ESA, education savings account. You can put money into it. It grows tax-free. You are limited to $2,000 a year, but if you start young, that will be more than plenty enough money. Either 529, you can put unlimited money in there, but there's a whole book of exclusions and restrictions on that. And if you put your ESA into a good money market account, you cannot. It's literally, you can't screw it up. So go with
and the 529,
ESA.
don't they, like the 529s, don't they move your money without letting you know? They make better financial decisions for you.
Yes, they
manage so you're really, it's your money, but they're like, oh, we're going to put it over here because it might do better. You guys don't have a whole lot of control on what you're doing.
Right. I'm so excited to start up an ESA. We're so close after our big emergency fund is funded for all 3 of our girls and putting $2,000 a year into each one. So, yes, I love that.
Book it, Dano.
Where's our timer? Really, I know. Can you give us a breakdown of how the FPU format goes? I'm doing it with my hubby, but I'm curious how it works.
Yes. It's 9 weeks.
9-week course, 2-hour classes from beginning to end. What it is, it's a discussion, kind of a discussion with your group, and then about an hour of video each class, and Dave is leading the videos. So
it's about a 15-minute discussion in the beginning, class starts, you do the video, and you have a workbook that goes with the video, and you fill out your workbook throughout the video, and then after the video you have about a 15-minute to half an hour discussion about the video and everything you learned and how it's going to change your life and how to put the principles in place.
Mm-hmm. Then you graduate, and you're never the same forever. Okay. We love you guys. We just answered that one. We love you too. I'm trying to find a short one. Okay, you know what? We will just call this one good. We're just gonna wrap it up. I screwed up my notes, guys. I skipped around too much. Sorry, we ran out of time.
You're still good looking.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Love you.
So happy we'll wait till the camera's off. Happy Deck Kickin' Sunday. Leave your question. Don't mess up my hair. I just did it. We're going to go shoot a Smart Money, Smart Kids video right now, okay? See you later. Hasta la vista. What language is that?
Prawns.
Arnold.